Alright, I'm back again, and I've been trying to lay low because it's not because I don't have opinions on things. It's just I'm trying not to, get on a hit list. Because right now there's some things that if I say the wrong thing, not only would I be completely deplatformed, but I would have people out wanting to kill me. And probably more literal in that sense than I care to admit. But, and I'm going to apologize in advance, I'm getting ready to say something, a word I don't typically use in videos, but oh well. Occasionally you come across something and you can't just help when you read it or you see it. You just can't help but think, good God Almighty, what the fuck are they thinking? And that was my response today. I saw it as originally a post on Twitter, and then I got to digging. The original article is behind a paywall on the Wall Street Journal, but I found another one from the Economic Times, I think it is. It was just a repost of the Wall Street Journal's post or article. And the Department of Homeland Security, in their brilliant wisdom, has decided that they are thinking about trying to do a reality TV show. And the purpose of this reality TV show would be to take 12 vetted illegal immigrants and put them on a ship that they would call the citizenship and drop them off at Ellis Island. At which point in time, a naturalized immigrant would hand them a baseball glove. Then they would go as part of this, they'd be riding a train through the country, going places like San Francisco to collect gold and whatever. And in the end, whoever wins would be sworn in as an American citizen. Yeah. So here's why this is just nenarded. I'll use that word. I'm not 100% sure right offhand if I'm using it correct, but by the same token, it's the closest word I can come up with. Okay, so let's ignore the god-awful cliches. Let's ignore that. Let's ignore the grand prize being American citizenship, because let's face it, I love my country, but it's been a while since I haven't been ashamed of the government. And let's even ignore the fact that, just based off what I've seen so far, you would be taking people with, it'll be questionable how much education they have, and you'd basically be taking advantage of them in the name of collecting the advertising dollars, because that's what this would be. Because they may or may not actually see any money from this. That would all be going to third parties, including the government. And anyone that wants to try and benefit from this. Let's ignore all of that. Which, by the way, I'll get to that thought. The number one reason, if you ignore all that, why this is a bad idea, is you would have to look at it from a PR nightmare. Now, see, when I was taking my American politics course, the professor told me that the president's greatest power is the power of persuasion. Now, in the globalized world in which we live, we can't just, the government in and of itself cannot just view how popular something is in the walls or confines of the borders of their country. They have to take that into consideration, the world's perspective to a certain degree as well. Especially when you're trying to be the number one world superpower like the United States is. All these things have to be taken into consideration. Now, first off, I know people who for a fact I know voted for Trump, but I also know they would not be down for something this stupid. I know this for a fact. And so let's not pretend that this would be popular in the United States. It would not be popular in the United States. Would it be popular elsewhere in the world? The answer is no. As a matter of fact, there are other places in the world where right now in the past several years, the United States has been viewed as a clown show. Would this in any way change their perspective? The answer is yes, but not in the way you would want. If anything, it would most likely reinforce the idea of America being a clown show. There would probably be even countries where the United States is not necessarily viewed as so negatively, or as a complete total clown show, then those countries would probably be thinking, yeah, this is bad, because let's face it, it's bad. The whole concept is just poorly thought out. It's morally questionable at best, and you could probably just flat out call it reprehensible. There's no way this could be considered a good idea, and the fact that whoever is thinking of this still has a job is unfathomable. But then again, we have a DOD chief who texts his wife play-by-play commentary on, an actual military strike as it's going down. And then in the chat, they are giving each other high fives for taking out a civilian apartment complex for one person. So I guess, and he still has a job. So I guess in reality, maybe it's not quite so unfathomable that someone that thinks this is a good idea still has a job. I'm not of that number. Has the United States fallen to this far? That's a rhetorical question to a certain degree, because apparently, in my mind, we have. And I'm curious if there's other people who feel the same way about this. Anyway, I have a link down below to the article through the Economic Times, I believe it is, on this. Let me know what you think. I literally don't know how people could think something like this is a good idea. I don't. Later.